Next story, what's really going to happen on Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah, the keys to the game. Let's break it down.
Let's start with the matchups. So your Kansas City's offensive front. You got a young center by the name of Creed Humphrey. You got a Pro Bowl guard and turn tackle Joe Thuney. The other guard's really good, Trey Smith. That's what Kansas City's got up front. How the hell do you block Philadelphia's front? Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Josh Sweet, Nolan Smith. Those guys are all first-round draft picks or second-round draft picks. They are so physical force up front. What a challenge for Kansas City's front to block and to protect Patrick Mahomes because of what Philadelphia is bringing off the line of scrimmage. And Jalen Carter right now is probably the best defensive lineman, pass rusher, big, physical, violent guy as there is in the league. So that's one set of matchups. The other matchup, Kansas City, we know Chris Jones, and we know their pass rusher, George Kalafidis, and we know Mike Dana and Trav Wharton. That's their front four. Not bad. Chris Jones is really good. But Philadelphia's got the best offensive line in the league. Landon Donovan, Lane Johnson, Cam Jurgens, whole swath of first and second round picks in the Philadelphia offensive line. I just don't know how Chris Jones and those guys are going to be able to force Jalen Hurts and be able to hold up against the run blocking for Saquon Barkley. Philadelphia's offensive front is superb. Then you got the matchups of the skill possession guys. We know about Kelsey, and we know about Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy and Juju Schuster-Smith and DeAndre Hopkins. Now, Philadelphia, their secondary is led by a really good safety. Darius Slay matching up against Travis Kelce every snap. Man, that's going to be like a fist fight. That's pretty good. And they got a good cover corner in C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And they got a number one draft pick who plays with great speed and skill, kid out of Toledo by the name of Quinyon Mitchell. And they got Chris Dijon from Iowa and Reed Blankenship, who came off the street and has become a really good player. So Philadelphia's got a lot of really good guys in the secondary, led by Darius Slay, to try to choke off Kelsey and those wide receivers. The flip side is when the Eagles are moving the ball, and you alluded to who these guys are: A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Johan Dotson, Dallas Goedert. That's a pretty good collection that Philadelphia can throw to. But they're going against a good Kansas City defensive secondary. Trent McDuffie and Brian Cook are fast and very, very active, and they hold up too in single coverage. And then obviously you got the running back matchups: Barkley versus Kareem Hunt, Isaac Pacheco, special teams guys, Harrison Butker versus Jake Elliott. So as we talk about the matchups, John, I just think Kansas City's got the edge at quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia's got the edge at running back. I think Kansas City's got the edge in the wide receiver group. But Philadelphia's got the best offensive line. Philadelphia's got the best defensive line. I think Philadelphia's got the best secondary. Kansas City's got the field goal kicker. Philadelphia's got the mad scientist and his defensive coordinator. Here we go. That's 8 categories, pal. 5 of them are green. 3 of them are red. I got Philadelphia winning the Super Bowl. And John Riley, talk about the matchup.
You're going against your guy, Andy Reid, really?
Did you ask me a question? You wanted details. I gave them to you. I just broke it down.
You did. You did.
All right, so go ahead. But you can respond to the matchup. What do you think's the biggest matchup of all?
Oh, I mean, it's got to be the Kansas City offense against the Philly defense, particularly on the edges with the receivers, and whether or not Mahomes is going to be like breaking off some like 3rd and 17 run plays. That's what I want to see.
You're probably going to see some of that because he's probably going to have to do some of that because Philadelphia's defense, I think, is really exceptional.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, they'll punch you in the mouth. And that Jalen Carter kid, I kind of like him. He has a personality, so he's fun to watch. But didn't the Eagles sign a bunch of kids from Georgia? And I think Jalen Carter was one of them.
Alabama, Georgia. That's who they drafted the last couple of years. That's why their defense is so good. Alabama or Georgia or both.
So that's Howie Roseman, which I think we're going to talk a little bit about.
Okay. So I picked the Eagles to win.
Oh, well, I'm going with my guy, Matt Ariza, man. This is San Diego State. This is the Chiefs are going to win here. How can you go against the three-peat? I'm all for the Chiefs. I think, A, I want them to win, and B, I think they will win.
you'll be taking me out for filet mignon after the Super Bowl.
Is that what you're going to require? Not a Philly cheesesteak sandwich?
Okay. We've talked about the coaches. We talked about the stars. I want to talk about something nobody else in the country's talked